Yeah, last night, just before going to bed, I discovered this little beauty in my room. So I put him in a rat trap for the time being. Come on, little fellow. Now you can come out. Can also have a look like this now. In its full beauty. Look at him. Obviously, he's in defense mode now. Ready to strike. And there you go. You're coming towards me? Well, there you go. Yeah, I guess you're finding a good place to live. Better than my room. There we go. Blending in. Hey, good morning. Yeah, it's still very early. Slowly the world around me seems to be waking up. I hear more and more noises. Yesterday I wanted to make a video that I've been intending to make for a long time, and then it's basically, if you have this set of symptoms, the constant heart pounding and being wired and tired, the whole body vibration and the insomnia and these things, before taking any meds, try cannabis. Because if you can manage with cannabis, or cannabis, also known as marijuana, then you can save yourself so much suffering. If, like in my case, the nervous system just derailed, because then you don't need any meds. They cause so much collateral damage, so many side effects, and nobody then takes responsibility, and you are left there dealing with the side effects on top of everything else already. But then somehow I felt I'm not done with this topic that I touched yesterday. I left off by adding to the video. We might never know what exactly caused what, right? And then it might just be much more helpful to focus on gentleness and compassion, especially self-compassion. So yesterday my mind just somehow kept working, as if it was chewing on it. These contemplative moments were actually paid full attention, but the rest of the time it was just as it was happening on its own. So, firstly the question, the guilt and the question of fault, is it really helpful in any way? For me there's a fine line between pointing out the fault and the guilt, because those carry very negative connotations, right? And it also almost implies that I think I knowingly did something wrong. There's other words, no? That you could say something caused, or somebody caused something, or because of somebody something happened, or due to, or they seem to be more neutral. But the fault and guilt thing has a very negative charge to it, I feel. And then very quickly the blaming comes in. And I think that's not helpful. And there's the line for me with taking responsibility. Because I would never suggest blaming somebody else for one's own disease. That doesn't lead anywhere. But blaming oneself doesn't lead anywhere either. So this is where I felt yesterday, as if my mind was driving itself against the wall. And then I ended up, maybe not. Maybe I just wait for another day. I'm very much in favor of taking full responsibility for whatever happened, because that's also empowering to some extent, I would say. But then again, taking responsibility in the sense of being curious and open, not in the sense of beating myself up, yeah, or even going other ways like victimhood and self-pity. Yeah, that's another way that this whole thing could be explored. Yeah, and then there's another point really that is a big topic in and of itself. The question of how much looking back and digging in the story is actually useful, and where isn't it much more helpful to just kind of draw a line and say, you know what, I'm starting afresh and I'm right here only. Yeah, I'm right here and I'm looking out into the future. Because yeah, this thing of dwelling on the past is also can cause a lot of suffering. And at the same time, right, there are things that happen in the past, I think, that need to be fully felt because they got stuck in the system. And unless they're acknowledged and lovingly held, oftentimes I think we can't heal. So you can see me going back and forth. It's all like it's riddled with paradoxes. So, and I think that's why my mind also went like, oh my God, what do I even say about this? It's too much because it's not linear. It's not either or. It seems to be everything at the same time. Yeah. And then they have another final one, which would be like, okay, I take responsibility, but then at the same time, if you really follow it back, this whole thing about where do my action stem from, what's causing what really, like on a level of I did such and such thing. Where did that come? Follow it back to some emotion, to some thought, and now where did the thought come from? Right? Did I even choose that thought? Do I even have free will to think whatever I want to think? Right? And that's then the level where okay, I surrender. Yeah. So this is basically where I got in my exploration yesterday, and I can only say I don't have any definite answer. But I do see great benefit and potential healing in being gentle, in opening up, in not pointing fingers at anyone, including oneself. And just curiously exploring with a sense of I wonder why. Like, what is this actually? Yeah, and I think this is all I've got today. Yeah, leaving you with more questions than answers. I wish you all a beautiful day. I'll now do the rest of my morning practice and that's it.